Hello everyone, it's Elaine. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be making a card with the new Mama Elephant Toasty Friends stamp set. So here's a quick look at all of the images in the set, really adorable. I'm taking some Strathmore Bristol smooth cardstock and I'm using my Distress Oxide inks in Victorian velvet and weathered wood. Starting off in the centre with a blending brush, focusing the colour in the centre and pulling that out. This is a really soft background, nothing too precise. And this weathered wood area is going to be the ground. This is going to be where my critters are going to be sitting, but it is really loose and dreamy. Adding some water to my gold out of my Gansai Tambi watercolour palette, splattering that all over the panel just to break things up and give it a little bit more interest and a bit of shimmer. Set that aside to dry while I work on my images. I'm using some Copic friendly cardstock and my Memento Tuxedo black ink to stamp out the bunny and the fireplace. These are just two of the images I'm going to be using out of the set for actually showing you the colouring, but I did spend quite a lot of time colouring pretty much everything in the set. I wanted to try and get as much of the set onto a card. But I will leave all of the colouring and colour combinations I used on the coordinating blog post, which I'll link to in the description box. But I will also list everything down in the description box if you aren't interested in looking at pictures. So for this fireplace, I am using my E70 markers. I did use the darkest shade E79 all the way down to E70. The darker shade is probably on the top part of the fireplace, and then I did just use the E77 down to E70 on the what would be stonework on the fireplace, so this bit that I'm colouring in now. And I was really happy with the dimension that I got on that stone. And now I can work on the inside of the fireplace, so I tried to give the illusion that the fire was giving off a glow. So my darkest shade, the W6, around the edges, coming in lighter towards the fire. Colouring in the logs here, some nice E20 markers. And for the fire, I tried to bring in some colours that I don't use too often. So my E19, E97, then trying to fade out to more of a yellow with the YR15 and 11. And then to blend those together, I used the E13 and YR24. And I was really happy with that colour combination. I liked how that worked out. So I will definitely be using that again. Now moving on to the candles. Just giving them a little bit of shading. Nothing too crazy. And now my little bunny, I'm using the E40 markers for him. Some really nice, simple blending, E44 down to E41, mainly the E41 inside the ears and along with a little bit of RV52 for the cheeks and also in the ears. And the R89, 85 and 83 for the scarf and the heart on the mug. That's the colour combination I use for pretty much all of the pink on the card. And once I was finished up with the colouring, I went ahead and used the coordinating dies to cut those out. So here you can see all of my images on my card. I'm using this as a guide as to where to put my sentiment. That's a gift card there. That's how I line up my sentiments. It helps me get everything straight. Then removed all those images, they were just placed down, nothing was stuck down. And now I can stamp out my sentiment using my Versafine Onyx black ink, a really nice crisp ink, and it's stamped over those ink splatters as well. So I was quite happy with how the coverage that one gave. Adding on my stockings to the fireplace. So again, those are the R89, 85 and 83 for the pinks and YG 67, 63 and 61 for the greens. Now I can adhere my card panel to a card base. This is Simon Says Stamp Fog cardstock and I've cut it and scored it so that it creates an A2 sized card base. I did trim my panel down so that I got a nice border all the way around the edge. So that was cut to 3 3/4 inches by 5 inches. And I did take a picture of my card while it was in the misty so that I've got a guide when I come to stick them down. So liquid adhesive on the back of the fireplace, secure that down, pop some foam tape behind my little doggy here who's toasting his marshmallows, and he's got his little bowl of marshmallows there ready to toast some for his little friends who are also sitting around the fireplace. So to get everything to sort of sit flush and nicely on the card, I'm using some scrap pieces of cardstock behind the bunny and the lamb. Remove the release paper from that foam tape and stick my little lamb down. They've got their little mugs of hot chocolate, all looking nice and cozy and toasty. Adding on these adorable little thought cloud heart bubbles. Absolutely adore these little accessories. So I put as many of those on the card as I could without it looking crowded. Pop them down with some liquid adhesive. Adding on some Jelly Roll pen black glaze on the eyes and the nose. And then some liquid glaze Nuvo from Nuvo on the little hearts. And for the little heart on the mug, I did use my clear glaze Jelly Roll pen. Be a bit more accurate with that. And that is the card finished, but I wanted to add on a tag. So I'm using the Madison Avenue frame tags by Mama Elephant. And I used the solid tag with some Distress Oxide ink in Victorian velvet and some splatter. And the new mixed holiday greetings stamp set. This particular one I've used is the small one, or the smallest greeting. It is the To You with Love. And I did cut out and colour in another bunny, exactly the same as the card, so that they coordinate together. So exactly the same colours used. Securing him down with some liquid adhesive. I thought I would just show a little bit of colouring of the heart thought bubbles. Here I'm again using the R80s and some C markers for a little bit of shading around the edge. Went ahead and used the coordinating dies to cut these out. You do get a coordinating die for each one because they are slightly different sizes, and the little speech bubble bit is facing a different way. So adding those on with some liquid adhesive, secure them down. And then I popped some silver thread through the hole and added on this this white crisp bow using some satin ribbon from my stash. So liquid adhesive again on the back of the bow and on the tag, and I used my reverse tweezers to keep it in place and left that for a good few hours. While that was drying, pop some more Nuvo liquid glaze on those hearts, and these are the finished projects. So I really hope you enjoyed these projects today. The release is available on the 15th of September at 12 AM EST. Thank you for watching, guys, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Bye.